You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Dean Johnson.
From the AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, and streaming live on Ustream, this is AfterBuzz TV for Jon Benjamin Has a Van. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest Jon Benjamin Has a Van news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, picking up where the show leaves off and the buzz continues, it's AfterBuzz TV for Jon Benjamin Has a Van.
Yo, folks.
Say
Jon
the title.
Benjamin.
What's up, yo?
Say the title.
Jon Benjamin
You
Has
can't
a
say
Van.
it fast enough. Say it.
Give me a second, a-hole. Jon Benjamin Has a Van.
Yeah.
And we have a podcast about it.
Oh, sounds so silky smooth.
Thanks, ladies. That was for you.
Well done, sir. I'm Greg Goodness.
I'm John Barrett.
I'm Graham High.
Graham is joining us new tonight.
That is correct.
And Graham, we are very happy to have you.
Yes.
Very sad, though, at the same time, as you're joining us for what is
I believe.
season finale.
Yeah.
I believe.
Want
Jon
to pay
Benjamin.
my condolences, you know.
Wish you could have joined us sooner, sir.
Rest in
Yeah.
peace.
But we're going to have a good time tonight.
Oh, yeah.
I assure you. I promise. So, Jon Benjamin Has a Van, Smoking,
That is the
being
name
the
of
title.
this title.
And this was the season finale. And dealt with a little bit of the end of the world in this
Little bit.
episode.
In
which-
that it dealt with the end of the world.
In that it dealt with the end of the world. And if it is the end of the world, there's
One thing.
something that I gotta say.
Please, Greg,
Um,
share with us.
it's
Open it.
something that's weighed heavy on my shoulders for a long time now.
Mhm.
But up until 3 weeks ago,
That's this many.
I didn't know how to read.
Mm.
And it's shameful and it's embarrassing. But I never had the desire to. You know, people, oh, you got to read Moby Dick. Oh, whatever, it's a book about a whale. Oh, man, you got to read Charles Dickens. Well, the guy has a funny last name. I'm not going to do it. But then there's one book that made me want to learn to read.
What book was that?
Maria Menounos, The Every Girl's Guide to Life.
It'll make you want to read.
I, too, have a confession.
Do you?
Every book I have ever read up until 3 weeks ago, I stole.
Say it ain't so, sir.
But 3 weeks ago, I read Maria Menounos' Every Girl's Guide to Life after stealing it and immediately returned to the bookstore to pay thousands of dollars.
You
And
tried to
unpaid
do
for
what Jon
books.
Benjamin did. You tried to give them more money than what it was worth.
That was a good song.
No, that's as many monies as it's worth.
Yes.
And then some.
I'm sorry. I
Get the book,
misspoke.
people.
Get it.
Guide yourself through life.
Graham, do you have any thoughts on the book?
I'll be honest, I haven't read it yet, but I will pick it up.
But it's only because
Shame.
he hasn't finished teaching himself to read.
That's really I need a teacher. I need someone. It's the American school system, you know.
Menounos can do that.
Yeah.
Maria
He
Menounos'
can
book,
teach you how.
through reading it, will teach you how to read. It's
You
just that
open it up and look at it.
indescribably life-changing.
So with that bout of circular logic, let's get into Jon Benjamin, which has a lot of circular, weird logic to it.
That it does.
We've talked about the opening scenes before, the opening like 3 previews, whatever. I thought they were back to making it really funny again.
Yes.
Because the third one was funny. What was the third one again? The third little bump that they didn't actually
John,
show.
the undercover reporter,
Undercover reporter.
Yeah.
What's the cheese they put on top of it?
which was
Whatever.
clearly Jon Benjamin.
Yeah.
I just love that voice. He could do that voice anytime. It was just hilarious.
Part of the
Absolutely.
joke being that we instantly recognize Jon Benjamin's voice. But I think I wrote down, whose pipe is this? You'll never get. What? Oh, you'll never guess who smoked this pipe.
I didn't guess.
That's just a weird little throwaway.
We believe he smoked a pipe. I love that the title of this VHS is "Did Jesus Smoke a Pipe?"
Well,
and that there is another VHS within the VHS titled "Did Jesus Smoke a Pipe?"
The pipes
I'm here
of
in,
Jesus.
what does he say? I'm here in Jerusalem where Jesus lived, studied, and smoked his pipe. Which is
Let's take a look back. Jesus, I didn't know you smoked a pipe. Yes, I do.
Also,
The empirical proof. That's all we need.
Inclusive.
also, and it says reenactment on the bottom. Also, I'm pretty sure Jesus is played by Will Forte.
He certainly appears to be Will Forte-esque.
Am I completely off base?
I'm pretty sure
I'm
that's
pretty sure.
definitely Will Forte. If not, then Jesus looked a whole lot like Will Forte.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
there are
wow.
only 2 known pipes that Jesus smoked.
2 known Jesus pipes.
One of them is Israel, correct? The Holy Land, as
Yes.
it were.
No, neither of them are in Israel.
Oh, Italy.
One is in Genoa, and one is in some.
The
San
guitarist from
Francisco.
Metallica.
Oh yeah, that's right. Kirk Hammett's house.
I'm surprised you can't remember that he's the guitarist of Metallica, but the name just rolls right
I have
off
it written
your tongue.
down. I have it written down. That's
Okay.
why. My favorite. Oh right, the Shroud of Turin.
Which
Also
they
has a
don't
pipe
actually
on it.
call it the Shroud of Turin. It's just the Shroud.
Right.
The Shroud. I don't know. Maybe that's copyrighted. They
Maybe
couldn't
yeah.
use
Yeah. The
it.
Shroud of Turin is copyrighted.
The Pope's like, hey, what are you doing?
Yeah, the Pope.
You
is
use
a
this.
man.
Screw you.
Yeah.
The Pope is from Germany. Just throwing that out there.
I thought the Pope was Chef Boyardee.
Oh, you're right. You're right. I'm
Mario.
Hey, what are you doing? Read the Bible, eat the pasta. That's what the Pope does, right?
You're right. You're right. Now that you believe that Jesus smoked a pipe,
It just assumes that. It doesn't say like, well, we've presented you with the evidence. We'll let you decide. It's
now
no,
that you believe
listen.
it. I love the song that they play.
His soul is
Worship.
peace, his soul is truth.
His soul is
you. Something
By the way,
about a
he
pipe.
smoked
He
a pipe.
smoked a pipe. I love the name of the band, Christ's Pipe. Possessive
see
Christ's
that,
Pipe on the drum kit.
The
John-
music is still playing in the car.
Yeah,
Like he
yeah.
got
Nice
the
little
CD.
audio transition.
Like he was like, "Hey, I'm smoking and I'm listening to this music at the same time." I'm totally bought in.
The funny thing is, he didn't look like he was sold on the whole Jesus
Yeah,
smoked
but all of a sudden he's
argument.
smoking.
He's like, well, even if Jesus didn't do it, I still can.
Yeah. I think my favorite thing in this whole interaction in the car is I liked it better when you used to drink and drive.
Which is true to character.
Yeah, I
because
forgot that they
he
both did
killed
that.
people on an off-world planet
That's
by
right.
drinking and driving.
That's right.
For a
But
work
they were
thing,
biological offspring.
which bring
They
unhappiness.
bring
to us all.
unhappiness to us all.
Something that we forgot to mention,
Mm-hmm.
and I pointed out right away, and you were like, "Oh, it's because of the episode." In the intro, nobody's smoking now. Before it was everyone walking down and
then
smoking.
they offer one to Nathan, and Nathan's
He's
like,
like,
"No, I
"No."
don't smoke because I'm a puss." And
So
then,
Nathan's still on the non-smoking bandwagon, but now apparently everyone else is too.
yeah, Nathan doesn't smoke, but he jelks. I don't know if I buy it.
Well,
know.
they're never
Yeah,
one for
consequence.
continuity
That's a good
in
point.
this series. I mean, most of everybody in there is supposed to be dead or in jail. at
Right,
this
that's a good point.
So
So the
you know,
jelking smoking dichotomy really, doesn't
not a
matter.
thing.
Doesn't matter.
A non-issue,
Oh,
as it were.
did anyone? Has anyone else seen that commercial for? I think it's Chase Rewards, where it's a gentleman is going to the airport with his family, and his wife and daughter go, "Oh, we're just gonna go off to the duty free shop and do some shopping." And he's like, "All right, I'll go off to the gate." The guy's going off to the gate. He empties his pockets, and his parent, then this wife, like makes a purchase, and then because of Chase's rewards program, it puts change in his pocket, and he goes through and it beeps, and it happens the whole time.
Right,
I think that's Dave.
Oh, really?
I think Dave's the guy.
So not only is he getting mysterious change in his pocket, but he's producing Jon Benjamin.
And has a van and a musical about his life producing Jon Benjamin Has a Van.
He's a busy guy.
That he is.
Commercials and musicals and all sorts of fun stuff.
That's true.
Getting out there.
He lives the life.
Your favorite thing about the van interaction may have been, refresh my memory.
Drunk driving.
I
The
like
drunk
it better when
driving,
you
right?
used to just drink and drive.
My favorite is people who smoke pipes just want a penis in their mouth.
That
Poor little
I don't hear
innocent
that.
Nathan
Yeah.
is just sort of really going vicious
Yes.
on Jon Benjamin. Just implying that he couldn't possibly go one moment without the penis in his mouth.
It's true though.
I
I mean, that's like why Jon Benjamin was smoking, obviously,
I guess.
because he doesn't have our collective penis in his mouth.
He didn't seem too convinced about the whole Christ thing, but
He needed something in his mouth.
if we're following Nathan's logic to be totally blasphemous after the Chef Boyardee equals Pope comment, that means that
Jesus really was into Dom.
Gonna connect all the dots here.
I mean, I think the evidence is there in the Bible that he was.
Yeah.
Just watch this clip.
And the shroud. There.
Yeah. Let's just watch this video to prove my point.
Watching
Still use
two videos.
VHS.
Still
Yes.
VHS. Yeah.
Oh, one thing we also forgot to mention is that as they're like, you know, I'm assuming craning up on him walking through the through their church with the one woman in there, he turns her. Hi.
How's it going?
God.
It was an interesting little aside,
Yeah.
as it were. Not the stand up or whatever it is that I've come to expect. But it was still pretty cool. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. Yeah. What is damages?
Yeah, I was confused by that. I was looking at bombs and purses and stuff. I don't know.
Actors just being intense. That's all
Yup.
I see.
You got
Up
burned.
and here we're back with you. Burned you. We burned you.
Burned you.
Yeah,
What a.
Not one of my favorite
Yeah.
segments.
I mean, how much different is it than like hang up your phone or
Right.
you can't be here?
A little going
or-
back to
yeah.
the
I do
well.
appreciate the dude with the helmet on his head, though.
Yeah.
Why
How
does
it
that
is.
guy have a helmet? What could he possibly be?
He's
He-
got a
he
bag
probab-
around his wrist.
He lost his what's it called?
Moped?
No, the thing that Job drives.
Scooter? Oh,
Segway.
Segway. Yes.
He lost his Segway.
Right. He does look like the kind of fellow who would drive.
Lose his Segway.
Segway.
Yeah.
Well, not lose it, but at least drive one.
Right.
I don't know of anyone who would lose a Segway.
Hard.
Good point.
This was the redeeming part of the sketch for me, is the woman with the cello on her back who just says, it's New York camera. New York. You're on camera everywhere. Yeah, but this is the You Got Burned.
But none of them. No, there are cameras everywhere. They're not. You got burned cameras.
You got burned. It seems like you would need to, the guy in the red shirt, you need to do more. No, that's it.
Nope, we burned you.
Accurately summarizing the whole idea of the sketch
Yep.
in about 2 seconds.
Now, isn't that? And that's the whole act, isn't it? And now we're back to commercial. Oh no! This happens, and I just wrote down what as a response to this scene.
Yeah, it's a little confusing.
You must have smoked
When-
a lot. There's a lot of smoke coming out of that thing.
Yeah.
Didn't roll
Who
down
is this?
a window.
Who is this guy, and why is he wearing a vest?
He's the coolest guy
Yeah.
on earth, and that answers both your questions.
What,
That's a good point.
what is his accent? I mean, do you think he's like English or European? What is?
I think he's just a cool, free spirit.
He's
who
just so
kind of
cool.
looks like Bam Margera.
Bam.
A little bit.
Mm.
I know, John, you probably don't want to acknowledge that at all. Because I'm guessing by your dissatisfied grunt, you're
I just
not a
don't.
fan.
I don't see it. Is what I'm saying.
What? How can you not see it? It's clear as day.
He's not as bloated and.
Here's the thing. Bam's an ugly, ugly dude. Like, Bam does
Well,
not
that
have
guy
a pretty
wasn't-
face.
Well, this guy isn't,
Yeah, but he doesn't have
he's
like.
no Ryan Reynolds, all right?
That's right. You have a crush on Ryan
A
Reynolds.
little bit of a man crush. A little bit.
Yeah, man crush.
That's okay.
I just love that it cuts to the whatever 8mm footage.
I'm assuming
As-
I actually wrote that down. I
as
geeked
soon
out
as
with
it-
you there. I was like, what kind of film stock is that?
I love this segment, this like stupid hipster music video segment.
That's what it is. It really is a stupid hipster music video segment. driving around a convertible.
I love him getting
on it.
shotgunned all the tobacco smoke.
And who's this guy in the driver's
Yeah,
seat?
who is
He's
this creeper in this orange shirt?
Wearing a wig? What is that?
Yeah.
so old.
And there are the balloons.
The necessary.
And, yeah,
I
and
do
then
think
the
the
balloons.
balloons were a nice touch. Where it's
Yeah.
like, man, if you're gonna have a good time, happy freak out video like they're having, you need to have
Oh,
the
I
colorful.
didn't put together. That's Brigitte.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
Ah,
That's the. Oh, so they used her twice?
I guess so.
That's kind of lame.
Or-
you just pair by the
Well,
day.
he's supposed to.
Non-union.
He's supposed to go in
Yeah,
and fall
right.
in love with her at first sight. It doesn't make any sense. If he's,
I'm sorry. I think it's her.
You thunk?
I think thunk.
It was her. You were
So-
wrong. You were wrong.
Whoa, brother.
Buzz, get out of here.
All right, fine.
No, don't get out of here. Don't leave.
Hey, man. Yeah. We're just
Having a good time.
I love when they're going and taking the pictures of him. How most of them are him with a cigarette, but one of them is him with a donut.
You gotta be real quick to catch it. But yeah, I think we both at the exact same time were like, was that a donut? And we were so excited about it.
Because I love donuts. That's most of what this gut is.
Oh
that and
man,
beer.
I can't have donuts so much anymore. Do you know donuts stay in your stomach for like a week? They're
What?
in your stomach, just
As
hanging
donuts?
out as donuts.
Just in that shape. Even though you chew them, they go back to that form.
reconstruct.
Yeah,
With the sprinkles and all.
it's like when Homer Simpson gets an X-ray or whatever. It's
Yeah,
the
there's
whole
a
donut.
donut,
Yeah, it's like that. That's taken from real life, mind you.
Fascinating.
You should know this. You're a fan of The Simpsons, aren't you? And you don't know how donuts work in the human stomach?
I'm going to go kill myself because
Because there's something
something about
vaguely
there's something
related to The Simpsons.
somewhat related to The Simpsons that I don't know. I need to die. That's my identity has been taken from me. There is no more of a point.
You don't need to do. You don't need to go that far, sir.
Are you sure?
Watch an episode of The Simpsons,
Reasonably,
I'll let you know.
sir. Reasonably, like 49.
Okay. All right.
Percent.
I guess that's enough.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
But if I screw anything else up tonight, that's it. Man, that's it. I could be the father you never had sex with.
I'm sorry. That came out weird.
Ladies and gentlemen, on the line we have Jack Waz.
Yay, Jack!
Yay, Jack.
You get
No,
to join
boo.
us again. We're sorry about
Yeah,
earlier.
you
For those
that's
of you,
cool. You assholes threw me off the line. Whatever.
we didn't throw you off the line. It got disconnected. For those of you who don't listen to Wilfred, first off, why not? But Jack also called into our Wilfred show, and because of some technical errors and us just being stupid, Jack was disconnected. But Jack, last I heard, you were trying to get through an immigrant checkpoint.
Yeah, I got through another checkpoint, and I'm fine. I briefly called in to the So You Think You Can Dance AfterBuzz.
So we
and
heard.
made them all worried for their lives.
Yep. Well, we did the same to someone who was trying to call in too. So You Think
Cat
You Can
Billis.
Dance. We accidentally. She walked right into our conversation about whether Wilfred had farted or pooed on the kitchen floor. So she was horrified, needless to say.
Love it.
But
It was a change
I
up
hear
a
that
podcast.
I hear that someone on So You Think You Can Dance made a great reference though, because you're crossing through a border check right now, or like an illegal immigrant check, and they threw it back to like, oh, so you're like Jon Benjamin when you get pushed over the border, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You didn't pick it up.
And I,
Great.
Hey, I just want to pause everything for a second. I know you need to catch up with your boyfriend, Jack. But is this party a little
there's the
bit...
donut. There's the donut.
Is this party a little bit of reference to the episode of Mad Men where Peggy goes to the pot party?
This is literally the moment where I thought in my mind they're doing a Reefer Madness parody.
Oh.
Because that's what started. It's because everyone's smoking. It's
Yeah.
cool, right? And you're having these like trippy experiences with these new, exciting people, right? Has to be Reefer Madness reference. But then I guess we decide to go the route of French art film,
Yeah.
which shot on
Yeah.
16 millimeter, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah?
Or if it looked a lot better than
Well.
the rest of the show, which isn't saying much, but it looked
So that's
different.
like the budget for this season was probably blown on that segment.
Yeah, on a 16 millimeter film for
Exactly.
Jon Benjamin begging for sex.
I think Jon Benjamin told the AV Club that he came up with the last episode first and worked backwards.
Yeah, no, he definitely did. I remember that interview.
So you're saying that they had this money allotted a long time ago.
Exactly. Hey, Greg, I just pulled into our apartment, and I'm real tired, so I'm going to go to sleep. But you guys enjoy your Jon Benjamin Has a podcast. Or come on the van, we have a podcast about it.
Thank you, sir. Well, thank you for calling in. Sorry that we weren't able to connect you earlier, but...
oh, no, it's fine.
All right.
By the way, John, I drove by your apartment, and Sam and Stella were totally doing it in your bed.
No, they weren't, because they don't do it.
They were holding hands doing it.
No, that's like the most they do of it.
We probably shouldn't be
All right,
talking
guys.
about your personal like relationships on the
What,
air.
about all the butt sex they have?
Thanks. You know, we were having a clean show up until you showed up, Jack.
Gloves are
And
off.
he
I
talked-
just
All
love...
right.
Wait, hang on, guys.
I'm going to go.
Jack, shut
but
the... All right,
Baba Booey,
bye.
Baba Booey, Howard Stern's penis.
Thank
All right,
you. Bye.
fair Jon
I just
Benjamin-
love Jon Benjamin trying to make this girl laugh.
Which is hilarious. Any girl who doesn't... Jon Benjamin falling through the chair. Any girl who doesn't like physical comedy is not worth your time. Which I learned
This
from...
is a beautiful
Yeah.
The
shot,
Every
by the
Girl's
way.
Guide to Life. It says right in there. Any girl who doesn't like physical comedy. No. That's why I'm lonely.
This shot is really beautifully composed of her on the bed, and
He has a cigarette in his mouth in the horse head.
I didn't notice that.
yeah.
That's hilarious. He would have caught that suit on fire.
That's such a art house European cinema thing where she lights her cigarette with the stove.
He's got a
And
straw
then
hat.
immediately says, I don't have a stove.
Yeah.
Well, that's a stove. I don't care. Very French art film.
Yes. As you know, we studied film. We know how French art films work. They all have to have a sink. And oh right, this has to happen. This scene after they've done it.
Post-coital.
Yeah.
Now I must leave. You mustn't leave. Do you love him? We already have that conversation. Oh, yeah.
Yep. Every movie.
Before I forget, while we're talking about films and while we're vaguely talking about Sam, I feel the need to plug a sketch that I recently released onto Funny or Die /YouTube. Everyone who's listening to the show, all three of you, I demand
He
that
has
you
your
go
parents
out.
hostage.
I do. You can't see it, but they're off screen, man, and they are in
crying.
trouble. I highly suggest you go plug into either Funny or Die YouTube Bridge Jump Encourager.
There
I'm
it
already
is.
there, yeah.
So, yes.
Oh, also, if you don't particularly care for your parents, he has another one of your loved ones.
Yes.
You know, he
Your
did a
favorite.
lot of research on you guys.
Mm-hmm.
So
I know you well. Again, all three of you. I know you like this.
it's gonna be. You guys are in for a rough week if you don't listen to this. If you don't go watch that
Bridge
thing.
Jump Encourager.
Bridge Jump
Encourager.
So when
In
did
this-
when did they start understanding each other? Was it at the party or when it went to black and white?
I think it was at the party because they they're responding pretty specifically to each other in
Yeah.
those
I don't
languages.
speak any English.
Mm.
I don't speak French.
Yeah.
Although that is a reaction that I feel could, or a conversation
Yeah.
that could happen on its own.
That's a good point.
Once they get to the apartment, definitely
Yeah.
sort of understand each other. But the producer comes in and points out that they don't understand
Yeah.
each other, which Jon Benjamin forgot.
Yeah, I just love that he pays off the donkey's ass, and like gives one of these like, "I'm sorry, it didn't work out." Shrugs, and then I love that on his phone call with the producer, he says, "I'm totally free now. I'm a smoker." That's one of my favorite stupid lines from this show so far.
I like that as well. I like that in that scene, the producer sounds like the biggest stick in the mud you could ever have calling you. And Jon Benjamin totally justified saying, whatever, I'm free now. I'm free of you and your
smoker."
non-smoking party pooping.
Color TV world. I'm in black and white on film.
Yeah, dramatic over here.
I'll meet you, and then he says, "I'll meet you at the compound." And at first I was like, "What is he talking about?" But then,
Segue.
excuse me, come back from
Excuse you.
commercial, and they are at the compound of Mr. Bob Odenkirk. What is his character's name again? Do you remember? I just wrote down Bob Odenkirk.
I didn't write down the character name. I know that he leads a religious group and he makes barbecue sauce.
Yes, the Mazaya, I believe, is the name of their group.
Holy
Holy moly.
Holy moly is the name of
the
barbecue sauce.
Barbecue sauce, yeah.
Moly, yeah, because you have moles? No.
Moly. Because you have a mole, I see. What a great role. Bob Odenkirk, by the way, for those of you who don't know anything about anything.
I don't know anything about anything. Explain.
Originally, I believe, the Ben Stiller Show. I believe that was his first major thing.
Okay.
Where he met one of that show's writers and occasional performers, Mr. David Cross. They went on to form a little group that produced a show called Mr. Show on HBO.
Great show.
Amazing. The sort of torchbearers after Monty Python, as far as I'm concerned, in terms of progressing sketch comedy as any sort of art.
That's a mighty big statement you just said, sir.
And I stand by it.
Can we get views expressed herein are not necessarily those of AfterBuzz or its
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Yeah. Your theories on comedy evolution are negated.
Yeah.
What did you just do? Did you hit your mic
bump.
with your boobs?
Well, see, I did it on purpose. I was chest fiving the mic.
Copy
This
you.
showed just how served you got.
Thanks.
Should have a big soundboard just ready to go.
Just fart.
No, I want a DJ table so I can be like, you got served, Eric. And then we can have a breakdance competition on this table, which
that'd
would
be
inevitably
awesome.
break. And it would be
the
funny
breakdance table.
because it's physical comedy.
And if some French broad didn't laugh at it, well then screw her. And
Literally,
here we are.
beg to be with her physically. Here we are.
I forgot about when we made love earlier. That was good. Thank you for that. Great conversation that they had.
I
Honest.
can't get over how slovenly he looks all the time.
He's a schlub.
They must not. You have to get your collar out of place.
Rocco Jansen, that's his name. Sorry.
You were saying?
I was saying he has the same collar out all the time, so wardrobe comes over and messes him up every single scene. Not slobby enough.
Yeah, and I just love that he has that he smokes a cigarette while eating a lollipop.
Got the sweet, got the smoky. Like
Just
my
like
barbecue sauce.
There, we got that right as he was saying it too.
I'd like to point out that we probably shouldn't because it's a brand name, but since Jack's not here to do it, those are clearly. Don't cut my mic. Don't cut my mic. It's a Stubbs barbecue bottle.
I remember stocking those.
If you look at the cap, you can tell, which is a delicious barbecue sauce. Play the disclaimer. Can you?
Well, maybe it might be a delicious barbecue sauce. So.
Yeah, but it's not necessarily the views.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not
you.
necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
I appreciate it.
You're welcome, Greg.
See, I'm looking out for you guys legally, and you're just, I'm not gonna play it.
Oh, I love one that he predicts the end of the world to be tonight around 6-ish, and I love this where he says, "Raise a foot if you believe me," and no one raises their foot. That has to be pointed out, which I think is funny.
17 times.
And
he
then
was wrong.
you're not going to get the end of the world right every time.
You only need to get it right once.
Yeah. Right.
I did write down very Law and Order and that it's ripped from the headlines. Because this did happen.
Yep.
This was that whole
May 21st.
end of the world thing, which people really bought into. There was a guy who spent literally $300,000 of his own money promoting the end of the world. Not affiliated with this guy who was making a boatload of money off of it. This was just some guy who was listening to the radio one day. Was like, whatever, $300,000 says he's right. And he bet wrong.
They rescheduled it, right? They bumped it back to
yeah.
like
Well,
October.
he said that the rapture was happening on May 21st, and then the world would end on October 21st. That's what he originally said. And then he went back on that and said, "Well, no, you know what? It's all going to be the same thing." That's what I meant. That's what I meant the whole time. Whatever. This time,
Rather than
poor
Jesus coming and then going back to heaven and then coming back, he's just going to make one single round trip. Just like
yeah, that's sort of the plan.
He has a good travel agent. Is what we're saying. It's all about efficiency.
I love this little montage of Jon Benjamin. He looks like a child because he's about
pouting like a child.
4 feet tall, and he's just pouting and kicking stuff.
Beautiful women are telling
him that the end of the world is coming, and he's like, "F you, lady." But
I know. I think was what he screamed at them.
Mm-hmm.
And we're seeing the harsh side of smoking. Jon Benjamin getting winded, climbing up what they first make to look like a mountain, turns out to be a 10-foot incline at most.
Yeah.
And look at how violently he stomps out that cigarette.
And how humorously he runs down that hill.
Leaving his freedom cigarettes behind. What smoking had to do, this is the problem that I had, was what smoking has to do with any of what he's about to do. Makes no sense to me. I don't know why he had to quit smoking to confront the end of the world guy.
Also, how lame is this party?
It's better than their previous party back in 1996, where they were standing around a burned-out campfire.
And raising their legs if they believed.
They didn't have cupcakes back then.
Exactly. Oh, yeah. Cupcakes, I thought was a great addition to whatever the list that he was.
Oh, yeah.
With your robes and your
white robes and your...
something and your cupcakes.
Your stupid white robes.
Mm-hmm.
And here's one of my favorite lines of his. "I don't understand French. I just like the way it sounds." Which I believe we all can agree with.
Oh, yeah, especially if it's coming from a beautiful lady who you're begging to have sex with.
That was good, Red.
Mm-hmm.
That was good? That was good?
That was good.
Are you sure?
When we made love before, that was good. Thank you.
I think a lot of people, not saying who, not saying if they're on this side of the table or not, can connect to Jon Benjamin in his
That was good,
pleas,
right?
his begging. Was that good? Was that good?
Please.
Are you sure?
And gratitude. Thank you.
To the point where he would dress up in a horse costume and fall through a chair. What they should have done was gotten another chair with the horse.
That's exactly what I thought was going to happen. You and comedy, great minds, dude. Great minds.
Steal great ideas.
Exactly.
From Jon Benjamin Has a van.
Yeah, I do have to point out, I really love Bob Odenkirk's wig.
Yeah, I also really love all the fake falling around they're doing.
Like Star Trek, kind of like shake the camera and...
Yeah, it's clear that it's just like the camera moving around and then them like, oh, it's the end of the world.
Yeah.
The only thing that would have made it better is if the final credits were over REM's "It's the End of the World as We Know It."
That would have been cool.
Leonard Bernstein.
Yeah. Okay. That, and also they should have, I want to score some indie folk punk credit. They should have played Andrew Jackson Jihad's Smoking. Smoking makes you cooler. Smoking makes you rule. Sing it with me. So just light up a smoke
and you'll never go broke. And you'll be the most popular kid in school.
But only if you smoke Parliaments.
We can't mention brand
ironically,
names.
I think that was a brand, right? It looked like them.
The Parliament?
That was probably, again, based off packaging. Freedom cigarettes are Parliament cigarettes.
Obviously.
Oh, what's that actually reminds me. Freedom cigarettes, is that what they smoke in 1984? Or is it Victory?
Here's my confession for the day. As a literature dude, still haven't read 1984.
What?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It might have been Brave New World. Victory cigarettes.
Okay. I live right by the Huxley Terrace apartments.
Oh, yeah, I've seen those around.
Yeah, crazy. Anyway, I love that the thing that shows up is fin, which is like how French cinema ends, because that's French for the end.
And
then
the world blows
du monde.
What is
which means
du monde?
of the world.
Oh, okay.
End of the world.
Well,
as we know it.
That's
and I feel fine.
That's a good way to end your season, especially if you haven't been picked up yet for a second season.
But one of the things I remember reading the AV Club's review of the season finale of Parks and Recreations, where they talk about how the show has been really good about upping the stakes every episode. You can't up the stakes any more than ending the world.
Yeah, he's already gone to alternate dimensions and planets and everything.
But we've already established that there's no any sort of continuity on this. There's just like Leo's killed himself, you know. Anyone else die?
I mean, Jon Benjamin was supposed to go to prison, and he was stuck in Guatemala.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
some country.
Yeah, so there's it doesn't
Stupid
matter.
American
Nothing matters.
can't name the right country.
One of those countries. It's Mexico. It's all Mexico, right?
Well, it's all Latin America in there. It's all some drug-torn region.
Right.
It's not so much that I am failing in my knowledge of geography and places. It's my failing of what exact country it was in Jon Benjamin.
Right. So racist.
Yeah. This guy's a
racist ass cracker.
Basically. Graham, do you have any other thoughts before we pass off?
Man, I don't know. I really enjoyed this one. I don't know. I was talking earlier about how I've been really looking to see someone make fun of like European style film and just making fun of like that hipster. Okay, this is what you're. Have you guys seen Tree of Life?
Yes. I have not. I have not.
I'm not going to give. But the movie has the beginning of the world. Like it's all about the creation of the universe and stuff.
Okay.
And I was like, I'm not going to go too much into it, but I was like, this is a great compliment. Just like some chubby, balding guy that puts this context of his story and the end of the world. Just like it's the anti,
Tree of Life.
Yeah. It's like the opposite end of it.
I'm totally okay with that. If Jon Benjamin has to be something, anti-Tree of Life is fine by me.
It's totally a thing he can be.
That's a title, right?
There it is.
I'm Jon Benjamin, anti-Tree of Life. And I have a van. Do we have any other thoughts on this episode?
No, I think we should just... Yeah, I thought it was amazing.
It was good. We've gotten really, really weird and really sort of self-referential and circular in the past weeks. And I think this was a nice way to sort of bring it back for the final episode. Is step back, get a little more to the sort of standard format, I guess, that they were using.
Yes.
But at the same time, make it fun and new and interesting.
Yes.
So I dug it.
Agreed. With that, let's go to commercial.
Let's do that.
Jesse was asleep at the wheel.
Want to find out what the AfterBuzz is about?
Janice is a drama queen.
This is the divide that is going to carry the series.
Give us a call. 424-256-1729. 424-256-1729.
It's television, and they want it to be as dramatic as possible.
I mean, it's Shakespearean. You never know what goes on behind closed doors.
Find out why AfterBuzz TV is the #1 source for after-show content.
Now, in the eyes of Jimmy, Nucky is a villain.
424-256-1729. 424-256-1729.
I mean, who would you guys rather hear that from? Your husband or your best friend?
The wig will come out.
When the TV show is over, get your AfterBuzz on.
Yo, dogs.
Yeah. You the man, sir.
Wow. How'd you...
DJ Jesse Janity reaching into the obscurities of punk folk to find smoking.
Well done.
Yeah, that's a good play.
Confess.
Yeah, wow.
Profess to be the coolest mother bleeper we ever met.
Yes, there it is.
Smoking.
Ladies and gentlemen, Andrew Jackson Jihad back there. And now from one of my favorite bands to one of my favorite movies.
Yeah. For the special segment this week, as much as I would absolutely love to tell you guys, hey, Jon Benjamin's been picked up for second season, infinite seasons. It will play until the end of time on a constant loop. As much as I would love to tell you that.
We still haven't heard that.
We still haven't heard that. And in fact, we haven't heard much of any news. It's a bad place to be. But you know what? Season finale, I figure, why don't we go out with something just a little bit fun, just a little bit wacky? So, ladies and gentlemen, Jon Benjamin voicing a can of beans in the movie Wet Hot American Summer.
What happened? What happened, Jesse? What'd you do?
You guys have pretty good Jon Benjamin voices. Do you know it well enough where you could just dub it over?
I literally listened to... Stop it. You're ruining the surprise. I did listen to it like 10 times today because why not? You know? But yeah, this is from Wet Hot American Summer, and Jon Benjamin voices a can of beans. And I'll have more to discuss on that if we can play it. Can we try playing it again? Maybe.
Oh, DJ Jesse Janity.
He's like, give me a minute, man.
No, I will not give you a minute. I will give you 5,
you
4,
can have
3,
all the
2,
minutes in the world. See,
you can do whatever you want to me for any number of seconds.
So then I guess I'll just start talking about...
Up, here we are.
We had no place being over there. It was a war we couldn't win, Gene.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna go smear some mud on my ass.
What?
I said I hear my buds in class. I gotta go and tell my buds, see how his grades are. I gotta go. Go away! Leave me alone!
Gene, now hold on. Look, I don't care what you do in your private time, but don't lie about it. I mean, you clearly said smear mud on my ass. And I'll tell you something. If you want to smear mud on your ass, smear mud on your ass. Just be honest about it. Look, Gene, I've never told anyone this before, but I can suck my own dick. And I do it a lot. There, I said it. I was honest. And you know what, Gene? Being honest makes you feel better.
Ladies and gentlemen, Wet Hot American Summer.
And Jon Benjamin.
And specifically Jon Benjamin.
As a talking tin can.
Seriously, that movie just had its 10th anniversary?
10th anniversary, and believe it or not, they brought that can out on stage in front of everyone, and Jon Benjamin voiced it from off stage as they made the little flap move. Do we have video of that? No. Because if YouTube has taught us anything, there aren't nearly enough cameras recording everything everywhere at once.
Also, let's be completely honest with you listeners, we wouldn't have made it here tonight because we would be rubbing one out to that video.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if y'all have seen Wet Hot American Summer, but if y'all haven't, y'all need to change that right now.
Oh, yeah. Totally. Do you think JB still gets residual checks from that?
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, probably, maybe. It airs on Comedy Central every once in a while still.
Oh, really?
It used to air on IFC a lot, actually.
I've never seen it on Comedy
Central.
Yeah,
the first time I saw it was on Comedy Central.
First time I saw it, it was college. I had it. I made it all the way to like.
I was like
junior year,
14 when I saw it.
Yeah, I had made it all the way to junior year without seeing it, and this girl's like, "Yo, you gotta check out this movie. You totally gotta check it out. It'll be a good time." And we watched it together, and it was quite magical.
Aw.
Yeah.
That's cute.
Nothing happened.
Aw,
it was
that
just
sucks.
us watching Wet Hot American Summer. But you know what? It was still a good night because I watched Wet Hot American Summer. And though I didn't realize it at the time, I was listening to a man who I would later be doing a podcast about.
Two podcasts about.
In brief second. Yeah, in the Archer sense of the word, yeah.
Yeah. But seriously, go watch that damn movie.
Yeah.
It's
you're wasting your time if you haven't.
You really as soon as we're done talking about stuff, go find that movie and watch it.
We have your parents.
Graham, you're a huge fan, right? If I'm not mistaken.
I enjoy it. Yeah. I mean, I haven't watched it back to back to back or anything, but I always like those the Stella guys and like all that. I mean, they're all pretty cool.
Yeah, that's a great movie. Yeah, if you're a fan of Stella or The State or remember that TV show Ed?
Oh yeah,
Michael Ian Black was the guy who ran the bowling alley for him.
Right.
Or Reno 911. A few of the people from that are involved.
Like that. that show very
they're
much.
not in it. There's no one in the cast of Wet Hot, I think, was in Reno 911, if I'm not mistaken.
Couldn't tell you.
Amy Poehler is in Wet Hot American Summer. Janine Garofalo.
Yep.
David Hyde Pierce. Killer cast, and just basically a 2 hour or hour and a half plus long sketch.
Making fun of summer camp movies.
Really funny hour and a half plus
Really
long
good.
sketch. Christopher Melanie from what's it called? SVU.
There's also Dude on Dude Action.
Yep, there's some. Oh yeah,
That's
you like
not
Michael
that
Ian Black? Want to see him get did?
Bradley Cooper.
By-
Those two hot
yeah.
dudes.
Yeah, it's gonna be. This will be the movie for you.
Well, on that note, I wish we had more for Jon Benjamin news. Hopefully, we'll be coming back for another season. We can't make any promises, but man, oh man, do I hope so.
We are not execs at Comedy Central.
Speaking of that,
Yet.
Renew.
let's move into Play the Theremin, sir. Do it.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Is this how you play a theremin?
Yeah, that's how you play a theremin. The hell do I know?
Yeah.
I predict that. I have heard on some authority that Comedy Central needs to be like in bed with Funny or Die. And they produce
absolutely to some extent,
probably to some extent, but I think to more of an extent, Funny or Die.
They got a lot of comedy stars working that racket.
And I think this is sort of this might end up. I mean, I hate to say it, this might end up being the sword that the show that falls on the sword of this kind of comedy. You know, this sort of really bizarre. Like Tim and Eric is bizarre, but in a completely different way, and it's a late night show.
On Adult Swim.
This is slightly less bizarre, but
still pretty bizarre.
Really bizarre by primetime TV standards, and I think this is the one that falls on the sword. But I think it paves the way for more shows like it.
It was so dry. I mean,
yeah. I mean, the other thing is that like Comedy Central has taken a lot of risks lately. Workaholics, which I hate admitting this. I wanted to hate that show so bad, but it's really funny, and that was a risk because it's like it's shot. It's like it's just a bunch of guys who made a bunch of videos. My understanding is it's just guys who made videos, and they still shoot that on a 7D. And so I think Jon Benjamin is
cheap show to make.
Jon Benjamin is another example of the same sort of thing, where they're taking a risk with it, and maybe they're seeing that these risks are starting to pay off because Workaholics got picked up for a second season. Now, granted, the two shows that were in Jon Benjamin's time slot got canceled, but those were both sports-related comedy shows.
Yeah.
And, like, in fairness, people who are going to be interested in sports are going to watch ESPN, and ESPN is, they do, like, the sportscasters do, like, kind of jokey things on, like, SportsCenter and stuff.
See, that's what I think the big difference is between you were saying the last two shows, Onion Sports Dome and Sports Show with Norm Macdonald.
Right.
Both got canceled, same time slot. We're pulling in comparable numbers to Jon Benjamin, but I think Jon Benjamin is different enough in its style that they're at least going to try and let it find an audience. And I think that, yeah, the whole sports experiment was something that sort of didn't work out for them.
Right.
And that was, but this is a different push. This is a different direction that they're going to try and go in. And I certainly hope that they give it a shot to sort of pick up. Because I think that if you look at something like Funny or Die, where they're putting a lot of the segments, they're all getting rave reviews. They're all chosen one, whatever sketches. And so it's a young audience. It's an audience that's going to find it on DVD, that's going to find it on Hulu or whatever it ends up getting posted to. So I'm hopeful that that's the sort of general idea over at Comedy Central.
Going for like that cult kind of feel. It's not trying to be like mainstream popular.
Right. It's not going to be South Park. You know, it's not going to be South Park. It's not even going to be Chappelle's show. But nothing is on Comedy Central anymore, I think. I mean, not to talk crap on a network on it, but like I think they've sort of lost some credibility after they replaced Chappelle's show with Mind and Mencia in terms of like being trusted to put on new content. But I don't know. Like, I think Jon Benjamin is a risk worth taking for them.
Agreed.
And
will they take it?
I hope they take it. But it's a risk. It's it's a big risk, but I think it's a risk that would pay off if they go with it.
Longest prediction segment we've ever had, and a very grave and serious one at that.
The world ended.
Come on, they gotta get it renewed.
Well,
whatever. It's true. They gotta get it renewed.
Agreed.
Well, I guess that concludes it for what is hopefully not our last.
Yes.
Say the title, sir.
The last episode of Jon Benjamin Has a Van, and we have a podcast about it.
It can't be the last time I hear those beautiful words. It simply cannot be.
I won't let it be.
It won't be.
Yeah.
Because we're gonna put one more clip up, and then you can come back, and I'm gonna need you to say that again.
Copy you.
Yeah.
All right. So here
We could live with
We got another clip coming up.
Roll that beautiful bean footage.
Oh, nice.
Are you gonna do it?
Do what?
Jump off the bridge.
No.
Why not?
Because I would die.
And you don't want to do that because?
Because I like living.
Somehow I doubt that.
Listen, man, I have an awesome job. I have fantastic friends. I'm in a good relationship.
Just good?
I'm in a great relationship.
You said good.
I meant great.
What I think you meant was cowabunga, it's bridge jumping time!
That is not what I meant at all.
Do you have a dog?
No.
Cat?
No.
Parents?
Well, obviously.
Your parents are dead.
No, they're not. You just made that up.
I slept with your girlfriend. There it is. There's that hurt. Now I've heard that jumping off a bridge...
I don't have a girlfriend.
Well, you said you were in a relationship. Oh.
Yeah.
Well, still, the pain of two parents. If I were you, I would just... Yay!
Stop it. Why are you so set on me leaping to my doom off this bridge?
You know, you ask a lot of questions. I bet everyone around you hates that. People hate you!
Sure, why not?
Doesn't that make you sad? That everybody hates you and your parents are dead? If I were you, I would just...
My parents aren't dead!
Really? Let's celebrate! With a game! The jumping game. It goes like this. You just shut your eyes. Now let's play a little jumping game today. When I say jump, you say, okay, now jump off the bridge. Hey, Jerry. No, it didn't work. Well, how else do you propose I start up a funeral home? Ladies and gentlemen, Bridge Jump Encourager.
You guys are sweet for playing that.
Written.
Now I'm all embarrassed.
By the great. Who wrote it?
I don't know, some jerk.
Yeah.
Greg Goodness.
Some incredibly good-looking jerk.
Mr. Greg Goodness, starring Mr. Greg Goodness and Samuel Clark.
Who you may remember from Archer podcast. He would
every once in a while.
Every once in a while. And we make fun of him constantly.
Because he has a baby.
So, not all bad, that guy.
And cinematographed
by
the
Nick
illustrious
Novotny.
Nick Novotny.
A good guy.
So there you have it, folks. Concluding with a bang.
Mm-hmm.
Is Jon Benjamin Has a Van, and we have a podcast about it.
Ah, such a good title.
Zing.
Thanks for tuning in, guys, and definitely come back next season if there is one. Check us out. We'll be coming back for Archer.
We will.
Without a doubt.
September 15th, I think, is the first of their like three serious episodes, and then they come back like for real in January. And now, while the soothing lilt of Michael Stipe guides you gently to sleep, allow us to sign off. I am John Barrett.
I'm Greg Goodness.
And I'm Leonard Bernstein.
You are not.
Oh, wait. Oh, that's okay.
That is Graham
Leonard
High,
Bernstein.
everybody.
The Nerd Bernstein, everybody. Jon Benjamin Has a van, and we have a podcast about it. Peace!
From producers Kevin Undergaro and Phil Svitek, engineer DJ Jesse Janity, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. If you have questions or comments, be sure to buzz us at info@AfterBuzzTV.com. And you can find us on Facebook or follow us on Twitter by searching for AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.